Okay. Hello and welcome to yet another full time. As always, my name is Edi Tuchek and you are watching Moe University live from the so-called workshop. Now it's the time of the year that I'm really glad that I have this workshop here down in the basement, because outside it was the first super hot day of a long streak. We're expecting like 2 weeks of very hot summer weather, but here in the basement temperature stays the same all year long. Yeah, the only thing that now really is creeping up here is the humidity. In summer, humidity goes crazy high here in the basement for some reason. I guess it has to do something with the dew point, but yeah. Normally would assume that it's the other way around, that winter is more like humid, but no, it's summer. So yeah. But nevertheless, I'm here in the basement today because I have to finish my Compacuyomu extended base diorama. There is not much left to do, but that's good because I want to do the figure photo starting next week. Maybe not on Monday because I have another stream on Monday, Pla Monday, but maybe on Tuesday. Yeah, will be super hot in the studio. I mean, I will work on it late at night, but still. But yeah, that's the summertime I have to endure. So yeah, I hope you had a good week. It's the start of the weekend, after all. It's Friday night. It's Friday night and the lights are low. Working on another figure base. Okay, so. Let me check something. Let me check something really quick. I want to see when I started this whole endeavor. Let me check. Let me check when I started with this whole figure base, because there's always a nice little reference. If it even loads my YouTube page, because you can watch this on Twitch and on YouTube. Don't know for how much longer, because I'm really thinking about ending the YouTube live streams. But yeah, for the time being, you can still watch this on YouTube, and also all the full times as well, and all the Pla Mondays, because on Twitch I think it's only like a couple days the video on demand. So on YouTube you can watch them all. So if you want to see how something was made, or if you missed something, you can check it out in a reference. Let me see. Workshop Final Touches Lane Diorama. This was by the 17th of April, so that's cool. And brainstorming for a new diorama was at the 24th of April, and now we have the 19th of June. So this means like basically 2 months. So we had like 2 months of like from brainstorming till the final picture was taken. And yeah, that's around the the time that I work on new figure dioramas. They always take around like 60 to 90 days to make. This one was actually, I guess, a little bit on the quicker side, I would say, but yeah. So, and to appreciate what we have done so far, I can show you. This was like the thing we did 2 months ago at the first brainstorming. I wanted to build a new base for Compacuyomu figure from Solar Rain, and this was the first draft. So the thing with the hole back there is basically the original structure, the original base structure. Also with these 2 lanterns, this one here and that one on the ground, and everything else I've added together. So yeah. And yeah, this was my initial reference. Doesn't look as much, but now I have let me see if I can get this into frame. I have this one here. I have tea as well. It's interesting. Let me just. Okay, that one is okay. So I have this one here. So that's the final base thing. Angle once again is a bit like complicated because it's from the ceiling camera, but you can still see. Oh, that was the home button. Oh, so complicated. Let me zoom in a moment. I've also like mounted Yomo there with all the swords. Only one strap is missing to see if it still works. And now I have to get rid of her once again because yesterday I installed some lights. So now you can also light this whole thing up. Hopefully you can see it on camera. Yeah, you can see it very good, very good. So this one lights, you can see this one and the one in the back. So yeah, now you can see all three of them. And there is a fourth one, and the fourth one, I will just like do the diodes in here, and I don't place this onto the base because I don't know where I want to have it when doing the picture, because I'm not sure which angle I will ultimately choose, but I will do this first. So we'll turn this back. So okay, I hope that I have another one of those fairy light things. Those are the lights that I've used for all those projects. Also the Lancer as well. There are also two yellow LEDs inside. Quite old. I've bought those like almost 10 years ago. But those are these fairy string lights that you can use for decoration. And I think they are fairly cheap and they work well for such projects. They have a normal battery box without a timer, so it's very crude, but it will work for our purposes. I have to check if those are blue ones, because I hope I have another string of blue ones. Let's see if I put batteries inside here. We can see, because I have like multicolor, I have blue and I have violet ones, so this have to be the blue one. What's it? Okay, it doesn't work. Why isn't it working? Did I? Interesting. Interestingly, it does not work. Oh, there it was. Okay. It's missing a connection, so yeah. But these are blue ones, and those are blue ones as well. So, did you have another like? It looks so strange. Huh. Interesting. It's very interesting. Those are blue ones. Well, what's the other one? Let me check, because I don't know if these are like purple ones or if those are blue ones, because I have purple ones and blue ones. So let me see if this is another. But I guess this is multicolored. I can already see this is multicolored. So I have to use this one here. So maybe it's slightly off, but doesn't matter at all. So okay, so this case is a bit crooked. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is maybe we will use 2 lights in here, or maybe 3. Let's go crazy. Let's use 3 of them into a bulb, and then we just put them into here. Yes. And then we will use like that amount of cable. Okay, I have to get my pliers. So why isn't this tracking, huh? Okay. And then you have to rip the cables apart so that the other diodes are no longer active. That's quite hard to do it this way. Yeah, okay, better. Like I said, fairly durable, those lights. One would think that you at some point will tear off the thin wire, but luckily until now it never happened. And if you do it this way, the cool thing is that the diodes that remain, basically it's just one or two of them, will now illuminate much stronger. Okay, I cannot get rid of this one because I want to have them removed, but this one is... I guess that one, this is very old. Okay, now it's gone. Oh, hello, welcome to the chat. Hello. Diaborg and Fievski are here. Welcome, welcome. I hope you had a nice week. How's the weather in Frankfurt? Is it hot too? Right now? I guess I cannot top this. Let me check. Let me check. Look at that. It's 29.4. It's almost winter temperature. How can it be like 38 degrees at like 9 o'clock? How is this even possible? Did you measure it in like the oven or something? It was, okay, yeah. But even at the highest, we did not reach this sort of temperature today. But yet again, it was only the start of the heat wave, so who knows what will follow. But like I said in the beginning, here in the basement, it is actually very comfortable. Where are the lights? Okay, there they are. So I have to plug this hole from the bottom because otherwise the lights will slip out. And after that, I will just extend the cables at once because it's easier to work that way. For some reason, the tracking doesn't work today. Well. So the only thing that is left to do, besides the cables, is to weather the base a bit more. And then it is completed. Oh, I forgot I had a tool for doing this, but I guess I can, okay, I can still do it with the... Oh, shit. Maybe I should use the tool. Okay. Okay, so this is all heated up. Very good, very good. Last check. Is it there? Yes, it is. Let's plug this so that the cable can't move out. I've just checked when I started with this base project, was almost 2 months ago. I guess when I do the real picture it will be 2 months, so quite some time. So where is my soldering tool? Soldering paste. So I guess if you are wondering what the plan is for tomorrow, battery pack. So the plan for tomorrow is that I will pick up Oki early in the morning. I mean, at least for him it might be early in the morning. For me it's just morning. Then we will go grab some groceries for the barbecue. And then after that we will come here and we will start streaming in, I guess at noon, till the afternoon, like for a couple hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours. And yeah, so I guess we will not start before like 12 o'clock, but at noon, yeah, perfect, yeah. Like 12 o'clock to like 3 p.m, maybe around that. Yeah, and after that we will just start the barbecue and also hopefully get my server installed, so that I have plenty of disk space. Yeah, he's into Gundam. He's into so many things, but yeah. Okay, so this is now fixed. Let's do the cables. I guess I have to see which of them is the right one. Let's see. There is a right one and a left one, so to say. Okay, yeah, it works. It works. So I can do. This one is right or red, right or red. So this one is yellow. I have to be on the same wavelength. The final red strap. Come on. Don't know what he will build though. I assume some sister projects, or maybe some like add-ons for those sisters. But let's see. At least he can pose my Lancer, because I've also finished all the Lancer parts as well, and I top coated them yesterday. And because there was no wind. And now they are finished, so I have to mount them again and pose it. Oh no, it's stuck in there. How did that happen? Okay. It's my own smoke generator. I'm still unsure if I will do smoke with this picture. But I think I won't do smoke effects. It's a bit cumbersome to do smoke effects, especially now in the summer, if you can't like air out the smoke, and the whole studio as well as the house is like covered in smoke detectors, so it's always a bit cumbersome. And usually smoke in figure photos, at least when I do it, it sounds cool on paper, but as soon as I do it, I think, this doesn't live up to the hype. But I guess it's just a skill issue. I did smoke once, and it was so good, and I was like, oh, I will use this in every picture, and it never ever matched this first tryout. So sad. So let's see. Yay! It is blue. Blue dabba dee dabba die. So can I get this into? There's still gas inside. Not really. Luckily, I brought new lighters from the company because they handed out like a bunch of lighters this week. And I'm not a smoker, but I still need some lighters, especially around Christmas, to light up all those candles in my house. Okay. So now we have cables on this lantern as well, so we can place it wherever we like when we do the final picture. About a little guy that lives in the blue world. Yeah. But this is like so annoying. There was this there's this remix of this song, and it starts like almost like the original. So everyone, it comes up in the radio, I think it's the original version, but then of course it's the remix, because why would you play an old song on the radio? That doesn't give you royalties. So where did I put all this stuff? Strange. Doesn't matter. Okay, so let's just, I don't know, I guess I will just crash this first. But I have to put the base on the plate again. It is now fairly stable, because I managed to put a sheet of carton beneath. So it handles actually quite nice, but yeah, I have to dismount Yomo. That disgusts me. Yeah, it's the new song remix. I mean, it's not bad, I think. There are now like kinda a bunch of new songs. I have to go to like grab some blister of Yomo. Hope you can still hear me. Where is the blister of Yomo? Here it is. So, okay. There's also this new one from this one, like, meme song. I don't know where it comes from. This what you say? Da, 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 da. I guess this was like some teeny show back in the day. And now, but it's a fairly good remix, I think. And also, I like the original song, and at least so you can hear it a few times. This one is already gets loosey-goosey, so we'll just drop a bit of glue, UV glue. Okay. The base will be the most stable once everything is finished and I can just throw it out. because I've decided to not display her with this base simply because if I did so, I would have the original base in the box, and I store all my boxes in the attic. So, because it's the only real place I have space for them. And to do so, what's with this? How does this work? Okay, something already kind of messed up here. And if I check the thermometer these days in the attic, it gets like 45 degrees easily. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So I can still dismount her. Mounting is a bit more complicated, but I hope it goes. So let's put this away. And so I want to have the original base on display so that it doesn't rot away in the box. Okay. So now everything is prepared for weathering. Let's see. If I can swirl this around. Okay. So, one sip of tea. And then re-roll. Okay, so there is a base layer here. And I've already did a bit of a black wash. A black wash is just, like, you know, a bit of water, a bit of black or almost black acrylic color, like this, and a towel, a paper towel, and a brush. Doesn't really matter what kind of brush. And then we just take a bit of the almost black color and we just cover the whole thing in this very solvent paint thing. There are a few spots left because I had to reassemble bits of the base because I wanted to hide the cables a bit at least. On the back side you can still see them, but on the front side, that is the important part, you can see the cables of the lanterns now, so that's a nice thing. And once this has a bit dried off, you can just, you know, use the paper towel and soak up the water. And usually this gives a nice little first weathered effect. I have a bit of a structure there. And you can also vary the intensity if you let it dry for a bit longer or if you use a bit more color than water. So, but basically this is what I did with the whole base. So usually weathering does go really fast in comparison to everything else. So we won't be here all day here doing this. Just a bit longer. I've also decided against moss on the base, but what we can try if we have time, we can like put on some fake grass, like the good one, not the bad one, not the fake, the cheap fake looking grass, like the obvious plastic ones. No, the fiberglass one with the electricity tool, that it looks nice. If you do it sparsely, it might actually look decent. I also only have yellow grass, like dried up one, so it does not clash with the tone too much. In addition to this base building, I've also now in the midst of doing the review of Yomo, of the figure itself. So I've had the time to learn a bit about the character as well. It's always nice. It's like I'm reviewing the figure, but in addition to that, or as a reward, I'm also learning about things. So it's also nice for me to do those reviews. It's not just like entertainment for you, or like you get to know how the figure looks in real life, but I'm learning things as well. So also watched a couple of Toho gameplay videos from people who can actually play it, so crazy stuff. Okay, so the front part here, this stone here, and this one, and this one, and I guess those, and this one here, they are actually finished already, because I wanted to try how it works. But now, and everything else is already like washed with this thing here, so I don't have to do this anymore. What I will do now is I can use the panel ink to get a bit more black into those deeper crevices. Reason why I'm doing this is I want to use this panel ink because I want to try the what brand was it? Tamiya or Mr. Hobby, like the good one, because Oki always says that the AK brand or the AK alternatives that you can buy a bit more easily around here are not as good in quality. And I'm curious if this is just his imagination, or if it's really true that this is more like watery and poor handling. So I want to get a brand one, a name brand one for the for the model kits, and use this for my builds and crafts, because there it doesn't really matter how it handles. It will be landfill anyway, so why have it nice? I guess I will also use the moon. I have a little like plastic moon that lights up from the inside, and I've already used it once for my is it Elena? The figure with the this here has to be glued as well. Let's see if I can just do this with the hot glue. Maybe I have to use a little bit of a stick to get this in here. And I think it looked nice on the picture. I mean, the final picture did not look as convincing as I thought. It was a bit of a mess, to be honest. I hope that this year I can do a better Halloween photo than last year. Last year was a bit meh. And of course, I'm already thinking about my next project, upcoming project. I guess I've already decided what to do. So if you want to learn more about this, you can stop by next Friday, when I most likely will tell you, and will start. So there was actually a bit much ink there, but it's okay. So is there anything happening over the weekend? Because I assume that now in summer you can do almost every weekend a thing. Might be an event to attend. Ooh. It broke off. It totally broke off. Gives you a bit more space to handle. I will glue this on later. But for now, doesn't matter. I mean, next weekend, next Saturday, I will visit a place that was once a beautiful Japanese garden with tons of bonsai. But sadly, from what I've heard, the person who maintained all those trees got ill, got sick, like some kind of heart disease or something. So he isn't able to maintain it proper anymore. So they reduced the collection. But since they still agreed to host us, I can only assume that the garden is still in a presentable shape. So I will just go there and look at it and bring my smart doll and maybe take a picture. Because luckily for doll pictures you don't need massive amounts of background, you just need a nice little backdrop. Doesn't have to be like spectacular. I'm also wondering if I should visit like Minimundus again this year. Simply because the only photo that I did not took last time was the USA one with the dolls, because there is a like a miniature version of the Statue of Liberty there. And after that I noticed that Danny put some 3D files that you can print out the Statue of Liberty items, like the torch and the crown, and I guess the book. Is it a book? I think it's a book. So yeah, would be nice to have the doll cosplay as Statue of Liberty next to the kind of huge model of it. But yeah, going there is like a day trip, so it's even more far away than the chocolate factory. But it's a really cool place. You can basically roam free and have access to what is the scale? 130, 132, or I guess 130, like a scale of tons of buildings, mostly famous buildings, of course, like sites, like churches and like international sites of various countries, but also kind of like more subtle buildings. There are tons of like garden trains that roam around, and I was surprised how hands-off this whole experience is. It's not like that. I mean, it's fenced off, of course, but not in a way that it's like a zoo. It's more like, you know, there is a little fence that you can step over if you want, but they say they trust you that you don't. So this lantern can also be twisted a bit. What's actually a good thing, because I don't know how to twist it in the final photo. That's a good thing to have a bit of adjustability. This week we received a package from our family, and inside there was also a box of 3D printed parts from our friend that we'll be using for 2 of my upcoming projects. Oh, nice. Right now I'm carefully removing the supports from the print file. Oh, that's a nice like thing to do while watching something. Is it hard to remove the supports? Because when I print something, I'm usually not the type of like, you know, 3D printing is not my hobby. This is my hobby. So when I print something, it's just like, okay, print it and it's done. But I've played around with support once, and it was kind of easy to remove, but it also was a bit felt a bit unsafe to print. But if I do like the standard settings, it's almost impossible to remove those supports. At least if you look videos online where people just flick it off. No, you need like pillars and stuff. I don't know. But yeah. And then of course you also see those like people who print basically everything without any support. I mean, it's a whole like hobby to itself, with like when you have to learn what like infill pattern to use, what layer height to use, how to orientate your print. So yeah, there's always something to optimize, like print time. This is like a huge thing if you have like 3D printing as a hobby, that you will try to make it as cost effective as possible. So use less filament and less time. But if I print something, I basically doesn't care if it takes like 3 hours or 5. It's not worth for me to invest in this much time. I mean, I learn like little to little over time, but yeah. Cutting supports of print since noon. Oh, okay. Huh. So he did send you those prints with like all the supports on it. It looks so terrible with the support. If you print something, it looks so nice in the file, and you think, oh, that might be a nice sculpture, and then you add the supports, and it becomes unrecognizable. You can't even look at it while printing. But this reminds me that I have to look if I have some grease for the printer, if there was some included when I bought it, or if I have to order it online, because I want to grease it up, and also have to exchange the silica gel, because it's hella humid here in the basement now. And I start to wonder when I will have my first like really bad print, like blob of plastic or something like this. All those horror pictures that you see online of people. And those aren't even like the crazy folks that like did some risky stuff. No, those are like mostly casual people who got the printer and set it up, and then they have like all sorts of troubles. And I'm like, can this happen to me as well? I don't know. I think not. That's looks like a skill issue. And we don't have those around here. I mean, Action Cell's quite okay. Priced silica gel humidifier. I have like a big 5-liter canister here, and I pour something into the AMS every like 2 months, and then I reuse the one that got like that got like humid, I will just put it into a glass tub and put it into the microwave and heat it up. It's like the only thing that I use my microwave for, pretty much, because I'm not big into reheating food, and it's so small that it struggles with popcorn. That's a bit of a shame, but it's such a small, like, outside it's like a normal microwave, but inside it's really small. And so if you have a bag of microwave popcorn, the bag touches the sides and does not turn with the table, and so it basically burns on one side. So yeah. Luckily, I'm not a big like popcorn guy. I mean, it's okay. I eat it. It's. If I go to the cinema, I always go for nachos. Also, if I have like buy snacks for at home. I mean, popcorn is a staple. It's okay. It's cheap. It's reliable. But it's not my first choice, I would say. So it doesn't really affect me that I don't have a popcorn microwave that makes good popcorn. The one we had in Vienna also like did not make the best microwave popcorn, but it was okay. Guess I have to do it like old folksy timey with like the pan on the stove and a lid on it and like pop it myself. But yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Not only for the build stream to start the new Saku kit that you got me, but also like in general to meet up with friends, show off the new garden as well. Today we noticed this like such a terrible thing, but today we noticed that one of the pine trees we got in the back that got pretty roughed up during the construction works because we had to cut pretty large roots. Is apparently it does now like die. So it got all dried up and it does not look. It's the smallest one, but it's still like 10-15 meters in height, and it is at a spot where it's not easy to cut it down. So I guess we have to do this at some point. So we might have to get rid of all the new things we built there, like the little like the, what is it called? A small roof that we built temporarily, of course, to get more access to the tree and to cut it down or let it cut it down from professional company. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame, but that tree doesn't look good anymore. And I guess this was a calculated risk that we had to take to cut all those roots. Luckily, the other pine trees did survive, or at least it seems that way, that they will survive. One of them did not even be like, it wasn't even affected by it because it's on the other side of the, it's like in the neighbor's garden. It only grows so high that we also have like a part of it in our garden. But yeah, hopefully they survive like the bigger ones, because if we have to cut down the big ones as well, oh my god, then it's game over. Okay. So yeah, also like I said, the review of Yomo is almost finished. Guess like 90 to 95%. Still have to add a few like B-roll shots. Oh, I think this is now all set up. Oh, it's like... So now it's... it also did manage to come apart here. This part is a bit under stress, so... can't be fault. Yeah, it's a thank you. It's I think it's a nice one. It's a nice review. Fairly long for my standards, like 12 minutes. When I started with the new format, like when I moved, I thought like maybe they will be even longer, but then I've seen how long 12 minutes actually can feel and can be in the editing and shooting process. And also, if I write the script, I guess if I have to do like half an hour review of a figure, I would not be like I wouldn't know what to say about the figure, especially if it's a more like basic one, like a price figure or like a pop-up parade. I'm like, okay, I can talk about like 10 minutes about this, but or like 8 minutes, but I guess I had then I have to like edit it different, where I have like quiet parts where you can only see the figure and hear some music, and parts where I speak. So it's all about the editing, I think. But for some reason, this style really does not speak to me. Would it drag it out even more? And also, the sad part nowadays, like when doing... Oh shit, this does not stick together. Come on. Why have you be this way? The sad part about doing videos these days is that you can't use good music anyways, so let's be honest. Yeah, I mean, I would love to add some like music that belongs to the character or to the series more, but like I said, it's not worth it to get flagged by copyright claims and by like basic strikes. I mean, it does not matter like in a monetary way because I don't make money off of those videos, but if I get like a strike, copyright strike only because I use the music, it would be pretty annoying. So I don't really do this. Maybe for this does not hold together at all. Well, then I have to use other glue. Hulk have to use other glue. Let me just... Okay. Okay. So now I have still a few like areas where I have to apply base color. If I glue and glue and glue, this happens. Well, that just happened. Okay, so does this look like a stone? No, it does not. But small imperfections can be removed later in Photoshop. That's the clue. Okay, so now that I have applied all the wash and I have applied all the ink, the inkling is also done. I think I can add the highlights, the white color or the beige ones. So yeah. But like I said, the reviews are now more like loot boxes. You can never be sure what to get with them, rather than like cookie cutter thing than it was before. Okay, so now I have this thing here, and I have a beige color. Put on a little blob, and then I need the brush that is a bit like messy. The messy brush. Never throw out like old brushes that are like totally messed up, because you still can use them for those effects. So without any water and just still way too much color. I guess I have to use a bit of water. Maybe the yeah, that's better. Where is my tissue? So everyone where the brush strikes, just like I just like throw it onto the model and let it bounce back from it. Oh. Yeah, I've updated the wheel today. Let's see where it hits. Oh, motivation. I need some motivation. Some motivational poster. Do you remember motivational posters? It was one of the oldest meme templates. I mean, I guess they were like a real thing back then that were sold to hang in like office spaces, but then they got like memed. It was one of the earliest like meme formats. This is like still not like together. It's like there's glue, but demotivational poster. So basically this talking point was an explanation or a discussion about motivation, but how do I motivate myself to do all this? Because this is like is it easy to motivate myself doing such a project? I guess. I mean, first, of course, the most important thing, I think, at least when I start to work on something, is the first step to start. Usually when I started with something, I have the determination to finish it as well. 10 lashes and salt on the wounds. Oh. What does not mean that I don't procrastinate. Usually I procrastinate the most when there are like when the outcome is uncertain, or when I have to start a new process, even within a project that is already ongoing. Like in video editing, like to film the B-roll at an afternoon or late at night. This is something I'm totally like up to, or like you know, does not bother me at all. Sit down, put on headphones, put on some nice playlist, and just film the B-roll, because this is like just, you have to shut off your brain. It's a ton of work, you have to be motivated, you have to do it, but it's not like creatively demanding. But then are like other things, like more creative things, where you think, I don't know how to do this, so I will not start with it. Best example are the like intros to one of the convention videos that we made back then, because those were like a bit uncertain, because I had to like basically do the editing and like do it in accordance to the song and see if I have like sections that flow well. So there was no predetermined outcome. Instead of like editing a show act that is basically just a recording of it, and you only have to switch back and forth around different camera angles. That was the easier things to do, and so this is like things that I can do every ever so often without proper motivation. But more creative things, I might procrastinate a bit. But the good thing is that as soon as I do nothing a few days, I feel terrible as well. So if I just sit around and like procrastinate and play video games or watch TV, or God forbid, read a book, on the second day I will already have like this tingling feeling in my fingers to start something or to do something. So, and usually with a project like this, there is also this one this does not look good, this one magical point where you see where it goes and you think, okay, from here on it will be just a piece of cake. Like a point of no return. Rotation speed, to have a more aviation term. It's just it has to work. But yeah. And then of course there is repetition as well. Oh, thank you. There is repetition as well, so I do a few things like on a daily basis, which other people might think about like excessive. But if you do it on a daily basis, it becomes like second nature and you don't think about it. And if you have like mundane tasks that simply need to be done, or if you want results that need to be done over and over again, like fitness or eating habits, or even like basic household things, that you just have to do it. There is no simple way to describe this. Simply have to do it. I mean, I did a whole video about this, like how I keep this house clean, because when I settled here, I just made a basic cleaning plan, and I stick to this every weekend, or every like ever so often when it's on the calendar. I will simply do it. I don't think about it. And because if you do things like every day, it becomes second nature. And but if you like miss a day, then it gets tricky, because to start again with a series, that is the tricky part. I mean, you can miss a day because you had something better to do, or it wasn't simply possible. But if you miss a day, then it gets tricky, because then you have to do it like the other day. But then you might think, oh, I missed one day. Oh, what's a second day? And then, see, that's the reason why I never learned an instrument. I would love to play an instrument, especially like someone with like what's it called? Keys? Yeah, keyboard. Yeah, those are keys. Tasten. But first of all, I don't have the time and the determination that it would take. It's the same thing with drawing. I guess I would be able to learn how to draw. To learn how to play an instrument, I don't know, man. Because even with practice, I don't have a feel of rhythm. I don't have like my fingers are a bit like not working so well in terms of like pressing, because I always notice this if I play rhythm games like Guitar Hero or like what was the other Rock Band. I struggle with like basically the normal difficulty pretty hard, and so yeah, no, I don't think that I will be like into this. And of course it's frustrating if you learn something new, and because this I've learned it and I've done it for so long that I only have to be motivated to start new things and to work on things. But it's not frustrating in terms of, oh, this will not work out eventually. I mean, sometimes it does not hold up to my expectations, but it's usually not that big of a deal. But if you learn something new and you don't see any progress, you don't see yourself getting better, especially these days where you basically have to like do everything for other people or for validation on the internet, and to post like results, it can be stressful to start at basically 0 or like minus 1. So yeah, we have 2 Guitar Hero guitars put on. Yeah, I had this like the same thing when I was in Vienna. We had like a Rock Band, the whole Rock Band set, the Pro set with the Pro drums and the keyboard and 2 guitars. The drums were always in a box, like disassembled, but the guitars we put on the wall as decoration, so it was nice. We only played it like once a year or twice a year when we had like bigger parties. Yeah, but it makes sense in a way. I mean, people want to share their like their progress or like the things they do and they are like proud of. So but it can be hard if you start with something new, and especially if you have like self-esteem or like can critique yourself a bit, because I know people, at least I know them like in person as well. because sometimes it's a party game mostly. So yeah, I mean, you would think, but sometimes, like when we had it on display, when we had it used for a party, I let it sit there for a couple more days, and I played it solo, just to get good. Because that's the point. The good thing when we played Rock Band was that we had a group that were into it. On a concept, so we don't have like to push people to play it, so like, oh come on, like play with us, and like, you know, convince them. So they were into it, even with the whole karaoke and singing, but we were all on a almost the same level of skill based. So it was not like one was super good and got annoyed that the other were like just amateurs. No, it was like perfectly balanced, and we played it for fun. So even though we only had like the same 2 or 3 dozen songs, because our big library got deleted and we weren't able to download new songs, because for Rock Band 3, I guess it was Rock Band 3 on the PS3, the servers were not really active anymore to download songs. So we were stuck with the couple ones we had. But yeah, those were like the good songs anyway, because I don't know if you noticed, but if you have a party, or if you want to listen to some music with friends, you most often only listen to the same old songs over and over again. So it was okay. But yeah. Oh, there's a bit of glue. But yeah, I've heard the same thing with drawing, that you have like to draw on a daily basis to really make any progress. But yeah, if you, I mean, of course you can like spin this in the way to record yourself drawing for day by day, and then if you made some progress, you can show it off. But of course, only if you made some progress. I mean, there are like those videos of people, more well-known people, but also like unknown people who like make videos that, oh, I've drew something for like 1,000 days each day. And I guess if you watch those videos, they will start with terrible doodles, and then they will become fairly competent. And so they put together those videos, or they recorded those videos. It takes time to make those as well. But I think you only see those videos, or they will only edit those videos if there was actually a progress to be seen during those 1,000 days. Because if there weren't, what's the point? Would be a bit embarrassing. But yeah, I've known people that were like they were so proud of things they did, and basically myself and also like friends of mine were like, this doesn't look good. But either they don't see it, they can't like critique themselves, or they like fake it, or like, you know, I don't know. Because if I make something that I compare it to other works of like the same nature, and I can clearly see if this is like something that is actually acceptable, or if it's just like, no, well, this doesn't hold up to. And of course, sometimes your motivation can also come from unique places, I think. Like me driving to work with the bike most of the time in summer, or as often as it's possible. And people might assume, oh, he likes to go with the bike, and or he wants to stay healthy. It's for fitness reasons. But actually, the main motivation behind this is just to save on gas money, to not move the car. And even if there's like if I don't go by car to my work, both directions, it's just, I guess, per day it's like $2.30 in gas money. So not really a huge sum, but I'm like, oh, I want to save this little money. And then, of course, okay, if you do it, and then of course you might enjoy other things as well if you drive with the car, with the bike. Like that, I'm a bit more like free to choose whatever I want. If I drive by car, I have to follow like traffic rules. But with the bike, you know, like every red light is just like a suggestion. It's interesting that people like respect traffic rules, isn't it? I mean, like cars do, at least. Because bikes, not so much. But it's interesting that people, when they are driving in a car, they actually respect traffic rules. It's kind of amazing if you think about it. Because let's assume you come to a crossing late at night. It's red. It's a red light, and you can see like all directions, and people will stop with the car. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning. They are usually not running this red light, but if I'm there with the bike, I mean, it's a difference if you ride the bike. I've always tell people that you have like much more awareness about your surroundings because you're not in an enclosed space and you can see fairly well on the bike. But nevertheless, it's always amazing how people follow traffic rules. Also, like on when they are by foot as well, like walking. How many people like stop for a red light and wait to cross the street? It's like, huh. Yeah, there is the price and there is the hidden plus of being healthier, doing das Fahrrad. Yeah, and also it's kind of nice sometimes, you know. It's like I'm riding the bike in early morning across the fields, seeing nature, like turn, the seasons, everything. So it has some other benefits as well. But there are also penalties. It takes a bit longer. Sometimes it's more demanding. I mean, usually I try to skip those days when it's a bit too hard to ride in terms of like wind or temperature. I'm not like Ova, one of my friends, that he's driving to work on the bike like every day because he has no car. So even if he doesn't drive as long as I do, it's like not, and also only within the city, but it's still impressive to go to work with the bike each and every day. If it rains, if it snows. I mean, I guess sometimes he can do like home office, but still, it's commendable. And then also, I mean, when I drive with the car, I usually don't, I only see the gas money because this is what counts for me. Because let's be honest, all the other costs per kilometer that you are like told to calculate when doing calculations, how much it costs to move by car, really, like the usage of the tires, like really, come on. And all the other things like insurance and stuff, this doesn't matter if you drive or not. um, the terms that the parts that get like actually like bad if you drive, they are so minuscule that it's not worth to calculate them, to be honest. And if I go by bike, it's also not free. I mean, I have to like put oil on my chain fairly often. The risk of having a flat tire is much higher on the bike than on the car. So each time, if I have a really like a bigger like a piece of metal or something that is stuck to the tire, I might have to change the tire as well, because if I only do the like the tube inside, it will happen again quite soon. So I have to change the whole tire, and that costs something. So it's not free to go with the bike. That's what I want to say. You have to maintain it as well. So every year, when I drove a lot, every year we did a new chain. Did some at some point you have to change the brake discs or the brake calipers. So yeah, it's not totally free to ride it. And then you also have to put on some equipment like a helmet or like bike clothes. So in the end, it's just a hobby on alternative mode of transport. Can you actually like see this, what I'm doing, like that it's like changing in nature, the base? I don't know if the camera can see this. Yeah. And for some other things, I just don't need motivation at all. Like for some basic things, like showing up to work. It's like I never thought about like ditching work. I also never had like when I was in school, I never had like a day off where I just skipped school, like without like any permission to do so. I just went there. It did not occur to me to like play sick or just basically don't show up there. It's nothing to do with motivation. It was just like I had nothing better to do, I think. Which also means that for me, like it does not matter if it's like Monday or weekend. It's just a day. Like I always say, like every day can be good or every day can be bad. It does not matter if it's Monday. Just because it's Monday, it's not automatically a bad day. Friday can also be pretty bad, or like Saturday or Sunday. If you be honest, if something bad happens, can be a Sunday as well. I don't understand why anybody would ditch work for a few days if it's really that bad, and why being there in the first place. Yeah, right. I mean, it's a gotta be honest. These days, work is getting a bit on my nerves. I don't know if it's. I guess it's me that I don't want to be in the same place for too long, and I had the same problem with my last company. That I basically had like two options. The first one was to quit, and I know that if you quit, you basically have no like there are no benefits other than like, I mean, if you have like already a better job, like someone like hires you, like headhunting or something, then of course you have to quit if you want to have the other assumingly better job. But if you just get annoyed but don't have like any plan how to proceed, there are not many options. You can quit, then you are like unemployed, and you also don't get any like benefits like workers compensation or like what is it called, severance. No, it's not severance. What is it, severance? I guess it's like the payment that you get when you like get laid off, or like, I don't know, not a pension, but the things that you basically paid for, like a golden handshake. Don't worry, I will not tell them. Pay after you quit for vacation days. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the company, I guess, because some like are like the 3 months work payment. No, like basically, if you work there, you are entitled to be like paid something. It's like when you go to like a pension, and then you will really you get a huge sum of money, basically lump sum. At least this was like when my parents still worked. Abfertigung in German. So basically, they withhold a portion of your salary each month, but if you are made it to the end, then you will receive it, either lump sum or like in increments. And so if you change your job on your own, basically you will be not entitled to have this. And of course, if you have like vacation days, they can say, okay, we cannot pay you those vacation days. You have to take those vacation days. So there are like a couple options. Usually when they fire someone in our company, they are like those 3 months of notice and something like that. And you know, if someone gets fired or basically quits, they have to stay 3 months in the company, to give them a chance for replacement. And usually the people don't show up all the time. Like at least for the last couple weeks, they will just call it sick, and it's unusually that someone who gets laid off or who quits will be there 3 months after all the time. But yeah, so now there are two options. You can either quit or get fired. But if you get fired, there are like two options as well. If you like do some really bad stuff, like steal, or like do some consciously bad decisions in regards to your job, then they will fire you immediately, and you will basically, here is the door, and you will never come back tomorrow. But if you like do a normal, if they fire you on good conscience, you'll be entitled for all the benefits, all the money, all the vacation days get paid out and stuff like that. And this is like a small a small line to be fired immediately, or to be like basically fired on good terms. Just say to your boss, okay, I will want to leave the company. Can we do something? Yeah. I mean, if you present them with a valid reason, why do you have to leave the company? Let's say you have like you want to, move to another country, or like take a personal, another like direction, then they're usually quite supportive when it comes to that. They will not like hold a grudge against you. But yeah. But nowadays it's a bit like starting to get on my nerves. It's just the same basic stuff. But then again, the older I get, I know that it will be hard to find another job. Then again, I don't know how long I have to work anymore. At least I know that I will not work until I reach my pension age. I don't think so. If I have to be realistic about this. I will not work till 60. Because if everything goes the way it is set to go, if nothing unforeseen happens, I don't want to, and I don't have to. Really gotta say, it all depends on my parents, because I think now they are getting older and they are still able to care for themselves. But to be honest, if something happens to them and I have to take care of them, I might quit my job, because it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I get promoted to customer. Yeah. That's also a term that I learned from Reddit. Such a good one. You get promoted to customer. Sometimes customer is even better. I mean, my coworkers don't know that I have we have like so basically we are a service company, so we are not like our own business, and we don't we are not a what is it called? Oh my god, I can't recall the term. Public traded, that's the term. Yeah. But our clients usually are. So I hold stock in almost all the clients that we have. Until now, not the best investment in my portfolio, but it's fun to pretend to have some stakes in the game, I guess. So yeah. So you can always, like, if this is your motivation, pretend that they are working for you. But then it's also a bit frustrating if they do something bad and you think, oh no, not my shareholder value. It's bad for me. As a customer, you always have the right to complain if something goes wrong. After all, the customer. Yeah. Luckily, I guess this is this. I mean, offline, I guess this still applies, but online, things change because you can pretty easily expose terrible customer behavior these days. Just first I apply some paint, and then I will immediately wipe it off. such a silly thing to do. If you think about it, don't think about those things. It only makes you sad. Oh shit. That was too much, too much. We're getting too cocky there. Twice the work, twice the fun. Yeah. Yeah, but it's interesting to see because no one ever talks about those things in my like professional workspace about like career goals or like plans for the future. I mean, I don't speak often to my coworkers, but in my opinion, I don't think that they have much ambitions in general. I mean, some of them have a family and they are more family oriented. But some of them are just like, you know, I don't know. They don't seem like career people, but they also don't have any interesting personal hobbies or traits, so it's kind of like, I don't know. I wonder if like people actually have career goals in the first place. I don't know. Have you ever had like career goals that you said, okay, I will have like the age-old question, where do you see you in 5 years? That they actually have like the goal of, if you work for a company, if you or get hired for a company, that you say to yourself, okay, in 5 years I have to be regional manager or like represents of sales or whatever. Like, do people have those like expectations? I've never met people where at least they don't talk about this. And of course, if they are already have already climbed the ladder, it's easy to say afterwards, oh, it was, no, I always wanted to have this, or I always knew that I will become like the boss sometime. Yeah, I felt this in almost any type of job. Yeah, it's kind of strange because, you know, you work with those people all day long, but it's not often that you come across somebody that is really interesting, I would say. Heck, in our job field, it's not even like usually it's not even like attractive people. I mean, I can only speak for myself, but so, oh, there is a loose stone. A bonus stone fell down. But yeah, normally it's like fairly normal people without any like special traits or interesting. I mean, some of them have like at least interesting hobbies in terms of like, it's not my cup of tea, but at least it sounds interesting. Like if they play in a band, or, you know, like play in a sports what is it called, club, you know? But like I said, I don't think that they have much like career goals. I think they just go to work, complain that they don't like earn as much as they want to, and just wait for a paycheck, and then rinse and repeat. I mean, you only hear from like other countries, especially America, that they are far more open when it comes to discussion about payment. But, you know, I don't know if this is really a thing. Especially like face to face, where you can verify those things. I mean, I can brag with my salary on the internet all day long if nobody can check. Sure. But if you tell would you tell your coworker how much you earn, that has like the same position as you have, like that does the same work hours, the same tasks? Would you tell? Because there are like only two outcomes. Either you earn more than him, then he will be like mad, or he would question his position, or he earns more, then you might think, why is this? And you would be like mad or something. So there is like no real like no bonus or no good outcome, I think, when asking this question. And interestingly, it won't be. I don't know if it's like the same like salary, because even with the same position, it's most likely that people earn different things because of the entry day and like the structure of a contract, or like basically at some point they had like what is it called, a raise, and the other person had not, so it might drift apart over time. We want to buy a house someday. We keep hearing people say things, but you will have to mow the lawn. Only if you have a lawn, to be honest. A house does not automatically imply a lawn, but yeah. Do you know how much the costs? Meanwhile, they are paying rent. I mean, look. There is this one guy on YouTube. Don't have to get into specifics, but he did a video once where he compared like the costs of all heat sources, like the costs of like gas, heat pump, wood stove, like all the methods that are conventional that you can heat your house with. And if you like calculate it effectively, you come down to basically the same cost per kilowatt hour, or per like, you know, whatever the unit of measurement is. And it was around 10 cents. Excuse me. So, and I guess it's the same with a house, or with a loan to buy a house. For me, it was a special situation that we had this house. And if you have like what is it called? You know, if you have it in a family, if it's run by the family and it's given to you, an heirloom. Is it an heirloom? So okay, that's a given. And this is only possible because I'm an only child. We had like a dinner a couple of weeks ago with old friends and family from my father's side, and he also said like, okay, the thing we did, you can only do this for one child. If you have like 5 of them, not possible. So yeah. But if you like want to buy a house, if you purely do this on a financial basis, and if you calculate everything through and don't like lie to yourself, you will realize that it does not really make a difference if you own a house and pay like cost of ownership, like insurance and like keep it intact, and all the other like energy and heating and whatnot, or if you rent a place and pay rent. So does not really make a difference if you be honest. The house can be totally like have other benefits. It can be more quiet, it can be more spacious, it can be like look nicer, but purely cost focused, I guess it does not make a difference. Same goes for like if you get a loan, so basically have zero cash on your own, or like very little cash, and loan everything from a bank, then you have to pay this loan back for like also an extended period of time. We are talking like 25, 30, 35, maybe even 40 years. And usually you start to plan or pay for a house in your mid-20s, 30s, maybe mid-30s. So if you add like a 40 to this number, you basically will pay back your loan over your whole lifetime. If you are lucky, you will reach the age of rent and you have paid off your loan. But then again, if you reach the end of your like if you reach retirement age and you have paid off your loan, it will be like 30 or 40 years. Guess what? The house is also 30, 40 years old at this point. So you might have to do some renovations, some major ones. That will also cost. And so the cycle continues. But or if you have like all the cash that you is needed, or most of the cash, so that you don't need a huge loan, so you can do this basically on Eigenmittel, then you don't have to pay a loan. So that's the situation I'm in currently. But then of course you have to be honest to yourself, the money is gone. You can only spend the money once. So if you had held on to this pile of cash and maybe invested in something, you would still have like a nice portfolio, or a nice like sum of money, at least on a sheet of paper. So there is a downside to everything. So if you need a house, or if you want a house, pursue this dream, either for your family or for your own benefits. But if you do it like strictly from a cost perspective, I don't think it's worth it. Sadly, rent is also a thing that has a natural cap to it. So if you search for like a really small apartment, the rent price is this, and if you go to a bigger apartment, the rent price is only this. So you cannot press this any smaller. There are like one room apartments, like 20 to 25 square meter, and you would not believe the prices you pay for those single room apartments compared to a like 3-room apartment. It's not like times 3 the price. It's just, yeah. But yeah, I mean, and of course, if you play the super long game, if you buy a house on a credit and you have kids, then it makes sense. Then it becomes like the old wealth building game. Where you just have generational wealth. And that's the best kind of wealth. Because if you look at the, what is it called? Interest over time, like Zinseszins. It will compound very, very fast, but it takes an enormous amount of time, almost longer than a human would live. So there are either two ways. Either you start like investing and saving money from day one, like as a baby. So you have something that does it for you. Because if you are like getting into this whole game in your 30s, then it's a nice hobby, but there will be no like there will be no Zinseszins anymore for you, at least that it might sense. But yeah, owning a house is, I mean, the lawn basically is just your least troublesome thing to worry about, I think. Because basically you have to do everything by your own and take care of everything. So if something breaks, yeah, tough luck. If something broke in my flat in Vienna, like if the like heat went out, or if the electricity went out, my roommate was always like, "Have you already called the company, and have you already get noted?" And I was like, I looked out of the window, I've noticed that everyone else had no electricity in the whole street. I was like, something else will take care of it. It's so hot. I forgot. I have to drink tea because I have like a cough. Oh. But I'm not nearly done. It's almost 11 o'clock. I mean, we are now almost done with this base. There's still something to do. Let's be honest. You can always do a bit more. But what I want to do is to add a bit of weathering paste. I start to like those dry rub things. It's the same with barbecue. The dry rub is the best. No oily things. I hope we can get some nice cuts for tomorrow's barbecue. I have the feeling that many other people as well will have the same plan. And yeah, our grocery stores are notoriously bad sorted and badly stocked. So, but we have one on any corner, so that's a thing. Want ich kann nur im Dudler haben, gehe ich wieder heim. So schaut's aus. But yeah. Okay, so I guess I will just call it quits with the... I always want to wash my brush in the tea. This will end badly at some point, I think. I mean, this is also like the backside. You're working on the backside and you know for sure no one will ever see this on the picture. And since I will not keep the space around, what's the point of doing it? Yeah, yummy. Maybe I've already did it and I did not notice it, and now I will drink the tea. Okay, so this maybe I will just move this bowl over here so then it's a bit closer to me. So I will just go for the nearest option. Okay, I will call it quits with the white. I will now take a short break and then I will do the dry rub things. So should I glue this on again before I go on break? I will glue this back on again. How was it? Like the other way around? Okay. Okay, so this way. Guess it has to stick because it's still PLA. Hopefully. Amazing. Just one drop to be on the safe side. Okay, so I will take a short break, blow my nose and like wash my hands, and then I will do the dry thing. So take care. So there is I'm not over here, I'm over here. Haha. So yeah, good night, Darbarok. Thank you so much for joining the streams, stopping by. I hope you like the outcome so far. Yeah, till tomorrow when I stream again, a special stream. I will reinstall those streams again, hopefully each month. Now that everything is worked out. So I have here like weathering kits, Tamiya, yellow, gray, green. That sounds promising. And sand, light sand, and matte. Matte. Let's see the matte, the mood. Let's do a bit of mood onto it. Now I can work with the brush as well because it's a coarse surface. What is this? It's light sand. Okay. Let's do a bit of light sand. And this is just sand. Okay. Let's see what's the yellow doing. I wanted to add a bit of green as well, so like I said, I will not opt for the moss on the base, but maybe a bit of grass would look nice, especially on the sections down here. I mean, it would not be I know look good if the grass is over here on the pillars, but down there, why not have some grass? Just use whatever is available. But yeah, coming back to the motivation thing, those streams also keep me motivated to do stuff. I mean, I would totally do this off stream as well. Let's be honest. But now this is finished. Will be finished today. We'll do the photo later this week. But there can't be a downtime anymore. Because next Friday I have to stream again and I have to do another project. So I will have to come up with an idea and work on this new idea so that it comes to fruition. Normally I would just take a time off, celebrate and enjoy the finished photo, but now I have to move on and work on something else. But basically, I always tell myself that we really enjoy your streams so much too. Always a pleasure to watch. Oh, that's so kind of you. Thank you. But every time I do something, or better say I don't do something, when I miss out on something, or I did not. Let's say, for example, I want to go get up early tomorrow because I say so, because tomorrow I want to get up early. And then I oversleep, or I will just like snooze, and I will like get out of bed at 10 a.m. Okay? Then I always tell myself, okay, I did not really want to get up this early, because I did not. There was something more important to me, in this case, like sleep for longer, or like at least pretend to sleep. And that's the reason why I did not get up. Because if I really wanted to get up, if I had some appointment maybe, or some reason to do it, I would maybe have done it. And that's the same with everything. If I like wanted to do something, I built something, like there are many projects where I was like, I want to do this at some point, but I did not, at least till today. Then I can always tell myself, well, apparently I did not want it enough. Because otherwise I would have done it already. Especially when it comes to travel, you know. Would it be possible for me to go to Japan like more than once? I've already did, of course, but apparently I did not want it enough, so I did not do it. Because if I had the sole goal to do it, I might have achieved it already, but since I did not, something was more important. Want to buy an airbrush station? Apparently not so much, because I don't have one until now. Would it be cool to have one? I guess. Wanted to buy a 3D scanner? Or maybe a storage system is more important now, so I bought a storage system. So that's the motivation thing. I guess the most important thing in terms of motivation, or I guess in life general, is that you just be honest to yourself. If you be honest to yourself, don't come up with like silly excuses why you didn't do something, then it becomes much easier to bear. I mean, luckily it also doesn't matter most of the time if you do something today or tomorrow, especially if it's like hobby or like your life in general. I mean, there are certain. I'm a strong believer in the right thing at the right time, and if you miss it, it gets quite hard to achieve something. I think there is the right time for everything, especially since we are mortal beings and only have a given amount of time on this planet. So if you are like, let's take for example something that someone would do if they are young, get their driver license. No, most people getting their driver license for a car at the age of like 18. Some get it like 16, 17. I don't know the current regulations all that well, but mostly when they enter their tween years, they are getting out of school, maybe into college or into the workforce. So they will, they might need a car, they might want a car. So they are most of the time really, really mentally set on getting a driver license. So not only doing all the courses, but also like, coming up with the cash to do so. Let me just get into frame a bit better. And they will do it. But if you miss this natural, I would say natural point for driver license, and you might be inclined to get your driver's license at the age of 40, then maybe cash isn't an issue anymore, or hopefully it isn't. But like I said, it might be more hard to do it than if you are a teenager. And this is just like an example from the top of my head. Even more true with like school. So let's say I was not like the biggest fan of education in general, so I dropped out of school pretty early. I mean, I did my like mandatory years, but then I was like entered the workforce and was like, work for money, that sounds nice. So yeah, but maybe over time, later on, I thought myself, maybe a higher education, at least on paper, would be beneficial. So of course you can do like your like your master or like your bachelor or whatnot later on in what is it called, like evening school or something like that. But let's be honest, it is harder, I think, as if you do it the right time, when you are the age that most of the people do it. That's it. So if you miss this natural point of doing stuff like this, it becomes harder. It's not impossible, of course. There are people who do this all the time, but I think it's harder. Is the microphone? Yeah, it's still on. I have like this like noise in my headphones. Maybe it's the song. Maybe there's like some like ASMR waves in the background. Interesting. So yeah. And if it's something biological, it's even more pressing, like getting kids or getting married or, something like that. I think there is the right time for everything. Not so much for enjoyment or hobbies. I mean, of course, there is always the big debate among people. There are like two camps, two camps of thought. They one say you have to, basically save up and be frugal so that you can have a nice life if you are older and maybe retired. And then of course there are the other side that says, why should I wait until I'm 60 or 70? Why not do the good stuff now and live to your fullest potential? Because who knows what the future will bring. So it's always a balance to strike there, I think, about living in the moment and planning ahead. Wasn't there even like a Rick and Morty episode that had the same lesson? Everything is working. Or everything isn't working. Or it's one of my core philosophies, that against an infinite amount of time, like future, every decision you make might end up badly. You will take your decision based on the facts that you like represent today, or like, you think, okay, this is what it's now, so I will make an informed decision, hopefully. But you cannot account for every possibility in the future, especially not for an infinite amount of time. Change your job today might be good at the moment, might be a terrible decision 20 years from now, who knows. I mean, if you want to be more hopeful, it works the other way around as well. If you have made a bad decision, who knows, maybe it's a good decision in 10 years from now. Maybe one thing leads to the other, and you are rewarded after all. The thing I want to say is, don't stress too much about decisions. Because even the most informed decision can turn out pretty bad. I also have this store brand top coat thing, spray can, and I guess I will spray the whole thing afterwards over the weekend, so that it's a bit more, you know, sealed. It's just a pile of rubble. I hope people can appreciate this this piece here. we will see how much Toho fans there really are. Because let's be honest, with Lane it was a pretty safe bet. It's for some reason it's a pretty popular character. So if you would have taught me this like before, like 5 years ago, that she is a popular character for some reason, I would not have believed it, but apparently it is. So it's always a bit strange who gets popular and who not. I don't know if Toho is still a thing. Especially like in English speaking countries. I guess it's hard to get into Japanese fan circles. Like in terms of art and also figure crafts or plastic model building. The display base looks really good, and Toho is still very popular. Huh. Is it though? Is it really popular? Because no, I mean the games. I don't know if the games were really that popular to begin with, especially in Europe. But yeah, I mean the music, I guess, or some videos. I mean, let's be honest. There are still new variations of Bad Apple animations that pop off my timeline from time to time. It's like the doom of animation loops. Like people play Doom on everything, like microwaves and pregnancy tests, and Bad Apple is the same but in animation form. People play Bad Apple on any occasion. I guess it's also one of the most recognizable songs by now, besides like Cruel Angel, Thesis, Bad Apple, and I don't know what's the third one that everybody knows. I don't know. Maybe it's hard. I guess there are some other ones that everybody at least knows, but Bad Apple is pretty much up there. But the cosplay, I don't know. I don't see many Toho cosplay around anymore. Could have to do something that I don't visit conventions anymore, but I don't know. Can't be that easy. Can't be that obvious, the reason why. No, I mean, even back then, I don't know, Toho characters were not cosplayed as much. Might have something to do with it that I guess the Toho fan base is mostly male oriented, I would assume. And so they aren't as big into like cosplay. I mean, guess girls also like the designs of those characters because they look gorgeous. But I think that they are not like very interested in the games, I'd say. So I don't know. I have to ask Oki tomorrow if there is a new Toho thing that is like, you know, the newest Toho thing. There are still a lot of Toho figures and plushies being released, so I think it's safe to say it's still very popular. You can see it on my figure collection too. Many collectors have large Toho collections, and they continue to. Yeah, that's right. That's right. There are like Yomu is like not so so often released, I think, but Remilia, the Scarlet Sisters, Melissa, what's the other one? The red one, Remu. Is it Remu? I think it's Remu. Cyrano. Those are the ones that have like figure releases on a constant basis. And they also have like a pretty wide variety of styles. Some of them are like more faithful to the source material. Some of them are, of course, a bit more, you know, dark and edgy. Some of them are playful. So yeah, Remo, yeah. It's the priest one, isn't it? No? Sometimes I wonder if there are like series where people only like associate them with figures, but not with the actual source material. Like for example, pretty obvious one would be Ray Zero with all the Ram and Rem figures. But at least this one gets, I guess Ray Zero is still ongoing, or at least they had like some new like shows or like seasons. But another one would be like what's she called, from No Game No Life, the sister one, where basically every figure looks the same, I think. It's always some kind of like chess pieces and like pretty colorful, no, but for some reason I think they all look the same. Or pretty similar at least. And this was a series that I guess there was like No Game No Life. We made a podcast about it when it was like airing. I Wanted to Watch series, and this was like almost 15 years ago. So and they are still having like figures released, but as far as I'm concerned, there was no new like anime, like a second season. Was there a second season? Maybe there was a second season, but maybe the manga is still ongoing. Okay, so it does not get any better than this, I think. Maybe this one in the background. It's like, okay, so no, was nothing. Nothing was released. No Game No Life. It still has a banger opening. The opening is still so good. It's one of, I guess it's one of the most like one of my most favorite anime openings from the last 2 decades. Very motivational. I've spun it back to the topic, you see. But this is really like such a workout song. It starts with this piano, and then it builds up, and then you know you have the lead voice. Such a cool song. I guess the animation was also pretty. That accompanied the opening. Can't really remember, but I think it was pretty. So yeah, like. From what I remember, that when we first like watched it for I Wanted to Watch, there was this big argument about between Oki and another member like Chang, and he totally didn't get the show at all, because for him it was like too much fan service and too silly, because he was more into like more serious gambling anime. For some reason, gambling anime is a genre. Like kanji, is it kanji? Like the one with the long nose and all the mahjong titles. So yeah, gambling is a thing. Gambling anime, like Mr. Beast, the anime. I think the light novel is still being released, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, there's some books, light novel. Why isn't there a heavy novel if there is a light novel? Huh? And why didn't I like color this stone here at all? It's still so basic. Maybe it's because it's on the backside and nobody will see it. Can't be that easy. Okay, let's throw some dirt on it and call it a day. There's this one loose stone. The light novel. Is it the light novel or is it the right novel? Oh well. Okay, so now, last step. Last step before this is finished, let's add the grass. I guess I have to do a short break for the grass, because I have to grab the supplies from the is it called the back rooms? Because it's behind me. And then I will add the grass, and then it will be totally grass. I guess I have to still like do the top coat as well. Is it wise to do the grass after the top coat? Oh, I don't know. Maybe, but okay. So let's grab the supplies for the grass and then move on from here. See you in a minute. Okay. I think the really good soundtrack. Yeah, soundtrack was. I mean, I only can recall the opening, not so much the soundtrack, but yeah. So there is a tool. It looks very. Where is this tool that I'm searching for? Where do I have this one? There it is. The grass tool, also called the sex toy. Or it's like one of those grenades from the like World War I, where they throw it into the panzer. Okay, so The only thing that has to work is the battery. Because without battery, this won't work. And I have to use like a pin, like a needle, like something made out of metal. So, okay. Then we will load this thing with grass. Let's like yellow grass. I don't have like a green one. So we'll do with yellow grass. So we've loaded it with a bit of grass. Close the lid, and then we do the connect the battery. That is, it's already connected. Ooh, I have a bad feeling about this. I mean, I guess I have a spare battery. It runs on like what is it called? A 9-volt battery. So yeah, pretty retro. So then I have to do a bit of like glue, wood glue, that I will basically just skim with water, lots of water. Basically, the more like liquid there is, the better it will work. And then I will just add certain areas with glue. And not too much. Don't overdo it with the glue. I mean, with the grass in general, but you know. Maybe in the back here. Over here. Yeah. I mean, this is like the normal method to do it. The hardcore model train people actually build this by themselves with like huge amount of power. So basically that it becomes almost dangerous to use it, like use car batteries and whatnot. But then of course you have really good results in the end. So yeah, it basically just like electrifies the thing. Okay. So it's now everything has to glue. Then I will just need, I guess I can do this with one of those. I don't want to stick it into the model. There's a little clamp here, a little crocodile clamp to clamp it onto the needle. And then we just hold it onto the surface and we plug it in, and then we make this motion. Don't know if the battery is weak, but this is also a bit cumbersome because it's not a surface where I can get like really close to it. And of course it's also empty already, so it takes a surprisingly amount of grass. And of course it's everywhere, so is it empty already? I can't really like shake it overhead. That's the one bad thing. Usually if you can go really close to the surface, it works much better. Okay, I guess we have to let it dry now. And afterwards, I simply like hose it with a vacuum. Okay. So yeah, this goes much better on a flat surface, needless to say. But yeah, this is how it's basically done. And afterwards you can just grab all the unused grass things and just stick it back in the box. To give you an example, I can use a brush. You can totally brush this down where the grass doesn't really belong already. This is totally not glued together for some reason. Now there is grass everywhere. So, but you know, I guess you kind of get the idea. Now it's a bit much. It's a bit much grass on the model, but I will just let it dry, and afterwards we can blow it off or hose it in. I don't know. But yeah, let's turn this on. Ooh. It's a kind of nice effect, to be honest. Where is my spare lantern? Spare lantern goes inside in the back side, and let's also connect this to the battery as well. Let's stick this in there. Can I just stick it in? It has to go somewhere. Okay. Second one does nothing. Is it wrong? Of course it is wrong. Curse it. No. I really don't want to open this thing, to be honest. But I guess I have to, at some point. Yeah, I have to open this. Let's see. So it's not soldered together. Why isn't it working anymore? Do you really have to like put them all out and connect them again? I guess I have to. So let's do this. One is not like the other. One is not working. This one, okay. So there are now like 4 cables. Why are there 4 cables? Because I have to I want to connect both of them at the same time. This isn't helpful at all. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's. I guess. I mean, hopefully it withstands the like top coating. I guess I will just use very little of it just to have the powder sealed. So now this goes back in here. It's twitching. Such a good connection. I've just... it's a bit annoying. Just did the wrong cable again. I mean, they all look the same. Can't really fault me. Okay. One last time. For good measure. Now it is not working at all. Okay, the cable on this side got out. This is such a hassle. That's the reason why I never like play with like electricity in those sets. Okay, let's... If I take any longer for this, it might be midnight when we end the stream. Okay, now. Let's hope not. Okay, this sticks in fairly well now. This works also. Everything goes in here. Okay, and the last one. Yay. Stick it just in here. Ah, good enough. Now 4 lanterns are illuminated. But actually, same with the figure, you can't see all 4 of them at once. some of this. Almost. A ghostly twitching here. I can do it at this as well. Oh, you can now you can see the delay. Like I see, it's on off. There's a slight delay in the stream. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, that's the blue is really spooky in the camera. It doesn't, or maybe it does. It's quite dark, so it's interesting to see. Maybe those diodes have another like quality to them. Some of them. So yeah, this is the base. Haha. Like I said, tomorrow I will clean this from the grass, and then I do the figure photo. Guess on Tuesday. Doesn't really matter in terms of weather. All the days will be hot next couple days. So cannot wait for a rainy day to work on this. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Camera decided me to follow me again. That's very kind of it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream, the making of this extended Yomo base. Even if I don't keep it, I think it looks. Does it look better than the original? I don't know. I mean, it looks different, but over the time, like the last 2 months when I worked on this, and now that I do the review, I really started to enjoy the original base as well, because I think they struck a nice balance between effect but also space, because it's easy to have a massive base, but to have a nice convincing looking scene on a small footprint is also, it's also worth something. Because like I said, this set, to display it within the set, it's almost a bit too overpowering for the figure. Ghostly things going on with the lights. Of course, in a photo, it looks totally different, because in a photo, you can decide how much of this you will see. Of course, this will be a challenge for me as well. First, of course, I have to find a nice angle for the figure, so that she will look appropriate, like intimidating and dynamic. And I also have to strike a balance between seeing the figure itself and only like parts of this diorama, and like seeing the whole thing, because of course you want to show off the whole thing that you've built, but then again it might look like some artificial thing with a white background. But if you frame it right, you might have a nice backdrop, and then it won't be so overtowering. Because if you look at this now and place the figure inside, it's a bit much. Not gonna lie, it's a bit much. Yeah, I hope it will be a worthwhile photo. Let me just clean off the base a bit more. Yeah. I want to blow in with the compressed air, but I can't, because it's not dry anymore. It's not dried yet. So yeah, okay, so tomorrow hopefully we can start stream at noon. Maybe noon, maybe 1 p.m. I don't know. We will take shelter in the basement from the heat. And then on Monday I will continue streaming Plum Monday with the kit. I guess since it's what is it called, real grade, I won't be able to finish this tomorrow, so I have time to do it on Monday. Hopefully till Monday I also have like the box shot of it to like have it in the overlay, to have a proper Plum Monday stream with the new model. So yeah, okay. I will let this as it is. I can show it to you once again on the good camera. Let me show this to you. This is what it looks like from a like point of view where the figure might belong. So yeah, it got kind of heavy. I mean, there is a wood plate under it, but still, this is without the lights. Lights on, lights off. Okay, let it set on the laser cutter that is always just a resting table, more resting table than a tool, sadly. But I guess I will use the laser cutter for the base of the Lancer, because I have to also mount the Lancer tomorrow. So yeah, okay, so tomorrow I will stream again, and then on Monday, Plum Monday, and then next Friday on FoolTime, I will come up with a new idea for a new figure photo. So we can hopefully tear down those sheets of paper on the billboard, on the whiteboard, better say, and put on some new ones, some new reference material, and brainstorm a bit. That would be great. And also I can show you the finished picture of this Yomu thing. Let me turn the camera towards it. I'm wondering that the mouse is still working, to be honest. This is like battery, like powered mouse, and yeah, I'm wondering that it's still working. So where it is? I mean, I have a preset for laser. I'm such an idiot. So okay, good night, base. Good night. Bye. Thank you so much for stopping by. So this was today's FoolTime, the FoolTime on FoolTime, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stream. Take good care out there. Have a nice, wonderful weekend. If you are also inside a heat wave, don't stress it. Take it cool, and I will see you again tomorrow, actually. So yeah, take care. Bye.